Hey all, welcome to the podcast Clash Experience. I'm Drake. We have Trevor and Actness over here.
It's great to be on.
Yup, it's great.
So, it may have been a hot second since we've last been here. Just about, 10 months, roughly.
Something like that.
Hot second.
About
Hot second. Anyways, we're back and ready to get back into it. How you guys been doing on CR?
I have really been enjoying the quality of life changes that they've been recently making, like the battle pass and all the challenges that they've been bringing to make free-to-play players and even pay-to-play players cheaper to be able to, progress further easier.
Okay. Do you have an
Um,
opinion on it?
yeah, so one thing that I think definitely helped the game free to play wise is the global tournaments. It costs
Yeah.
500 gems to get like extra rewards and stuff, but even if you're free to play and you like can't spend the gems, you still get decent rewards with it. So like you don't have to be if you're good and you can't spend money, you're not really getting punished, which I think is something that
Yeah.
definitely helps the free to play.
Yeah, just a lot of free stuff that they've given out. Only thing I really don't like about the GT is originally they had it at 250 and then doubled the price, but it's still a bunch of free rewards. So
I gotta chime in for a second. The draft global tournaments, I'm very much against. How you guys feel about it? I feel like they changed draft recently, and it doesn't give you a lot of air counters in draft decks in general.
Sure.
Well, yeah, that's always been part of drafts, bit of the luck of the draw and the meta that they're releasing for us. You kind of have to give it a. I myself play very defensively in draft challenges and can do quite well, but it really depends on the meta. Some days you can feel that they've shoved a ton of swarm cards down our throats, and others, air decks are just everywhere. I feel like it depends on the day, and I don't think that they're picking on players individually, but it can certainly feel like that sometimes.
For sure. I'm a big fan of draft. I like you have to be able to know how to use every card in order to play well.
Mm-hmm.
And it
I do
allows
love
you to use
that.
these rare cards like Wizard or Heal or Bar Putter, whatever.
Yeah, and no level advantages or disadvantages.
Yeah, everything's it's like you're playing a random deck in a CC. Everything's just you don't know what's going on. What I don't like is you get these weird choices like Lava Hound and Skeletons, which I've seen. It's like, why is this a thing?
That's why I'm very much against it. I think the tournament standard in general, like I'm a huge fan of that because it's equal playing field for the most part. Because most people have tournament standard cards, like the general Clash Royale community. So
Yeah, like 90% at least.
Right, anybody that would be listening to
deck.
this as tournament standard.
Yeah.
Just general tournament standard.
Like, it's not that hard. But I will defend draft by saying it makes you a better player. It makes you realize, hey, these cards counter these other cards, so I need to think about how I use them. Maybe they have this other card. Or how can I use this card differently to beat these other cards? Which is
I would definitely take draft over classic deck any day.
Well, I don't know.
Classic deck challenge battles are they always feel rigged to me.
Yeah.
You just get some like Lava Hound versus Hog Cycle matchups, and similar to that, you just feel like you get pissed on sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but that's nature of the game. Sometimes you hard counter, sometimes you get hard countered.
Yeah, it's all the draw.
But otherwise, like the other challenge, like the Fisherman Challenge, where's the Fisherman in the middle, I have to say really don't like it. For the reason of being that you're forced to play Lava Hound or some other like poison deck to counteract it, because there's gonna be Lava Clone plus something else. And I'm not a big fan of forcing decks and challenges.
Yeah. I think we should move on to like balance changes.
No, balance changes?
Yeah.
Sure.
What are we hoping for?
So what do we have a general consensus on with balance changes? What are you thinking, Drake?
Baby Dragon nerf, please. It has way too much stats and does way too much as a troop.
How do you feel about that, Trevor?
Yeah, I recently just today, picked up a new Goblin Giant deck that has Baby Dragon in it, and I can feel that it's just the interactions are all going its way. It's always having a bit more health or a bit more damage than the other troop, and it always comes out on top. I feel like it could use a maybe 2% health nerf. I think that could balance it because just the smallest interactions are really
see. I would agree with you as well, Trevor. I think with the baby dragon, it definitely it feels like it lives for ages with like a king tower interaction. Like I feel like you can get like at least 6-7 shots, and that really adds up. So I definitely think it could use like a health nerf or something like that. I feel like it's pretty strong, especially with NATO, like a combo like that.
Yeah.
You're starting to see Graveyard kind of shift into the meta a little bit. So I'm thinking that might help nerf it just a little bit.
Well, I'm not too against nerfing Graveyard. But
I think Graveyard's doing good. So that's why I think...
I mean, yeah, Graveyard's fine. I was seeing what nerf is Splash Troop. I gotcha. On a side note, Lumberjack as well provides way too much value, and he competes with Mini P.E.K.K.A. and other.
I think that's something everyone's...
troops.
I think Lumberjack is definitely going to get nerfed to this balance change. I think almost everyone agrees that the card is way too strong and it can get way too much hit stun way too quickly.
Yeah, like I can really set everything up for about double the value of what it could be. Plus, it's got its own value. So you really just it's too much for 4 elixir.
Yeah, so like I'll give you an example real quick. I have a level 1 account that I started a couple days ago. It's almost at 3K, and one of the legendaries I got was Lumberjack. And let me tell you, it wins about 95% of my games. The card itself, just people, low-level players in general, they just avoid it. They don't think it'll do so much, and it just takes out a tower. It's so ridiculously strong.
Is there something to say about them you also being like under 3K? Like the quality of player.
I mean, that may be part of it, but either way, it's people. Most people don't really think it can do as much as it can.
Yeah, I think most players make that mistake once, maybe twice, ignoring a Lumberjack, and then they start to realize that it's gonna pack a punch.
Okay. I almost feel like it's over-dependent again sometimes.
Yeah, like you're forced to put down like a mini tank or something, or like Swarm. Like you're forced to like counteract it in a big way.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking of buffing other than these kind of obvious nerfs?
What are we thinking of buffing? No, I always think that the Royal Giant could.
I don't know about that, buddy.
I'm just kidding.
I think Royal Giant is definitely a huge nerf. Not a huge nerf, but I don't want it to be back into oblivion again. But I definitely think Royal Giant needs a decent sized nerf, and I think E-Barbs could use like another rework because they reworked it before, but I feel like it definitely wasn't because it really didn't shift it for anything. It didn't. I don't think any of the stats improved, to my knowledge. Like I don't think it didn't really help the card.
Yeah, like if something I wouldn't mind seeing them doing is making them cost 5 with a stat reduction, so they can compete as another 5-drop troop.
Other than they do the same as just regular barbarians, and I don't know,
maybe
they would feel odd to me.
Sure, I can see your points. But the thing is that they have the high DPS of barbs, but they don't die to fireball like barbs do.
Yeah.
So they provide another niche scenario for defensive cards.
Something I agree with Supercell on is like the concept they're trying to go for with E-Barbs. I just don't think they took the concept with the actual like changes they made to the card. I like how they're making it into like a card where you defend it and then you go for a counter push. But I definitely don't think they did it correctly.
Sure.
I think that needs more.
A great example of that, I would say, is Goblin Giant. I use it very frequently because I just love to use it as a card. It's really fun to me. And I just use it to take out a swarm on defense or a single unit, pull it into the other lane on defense, and then just counter push.
I think that's a really cool card. I feel like Goblin Giant is like Magic Archer, kind of. I feel like it's a little more Magic Archer.
You kind of have to use it right.
It has a high skill cap.
Certainly.
Sure. I've seen some talk of Bowler being nerfed or buffed. Sorry, what do you think of that?
Buffed. Oof.
I think if Bowler got puffed, I think there would definitely be some issues with that.
Yeah, that would
I
be
think
good.
Bowler
Just
is
like the
actually
win rates.
been better lately.
Sure. I think it feels like the same rule Xe does, but Xe just does so much more.
Yeah, but Bowler has so much health.
Yeah.
Sure. Like maybe it's just like the truth that if you want to beat on splash decks or swarm decks, you just plot it in there. But I don't think it ever does enough. Like it never does enough damage, or it never does.
I think maybe they do an HP nerf and then like a little damage buff to kind of counteract it.
Sure.
Keep in mind the damage is basically throwing a log, so that would change a lot of interactions if they. Yeah, the damage is one difference between the Bowler strike and a log, so it would change a lot of interactions. So maybe I don't know, increased rate of fire,
Knockback?
a little bit decreased health, and then decreased knockback to compensate for the increased rate of fire.
Okay.
That could work.
Gotcha. Or it could knock back Princess.
Ooh, that would be way too strong. Yeah,
that would
be too strong.
People have talked about that for like what, a year now, and every time it comes up, it's just it's a scary idea.
Yeah,
sure,
I gotcha. Kill like most of the like Dark Prince. I mean, that'd be a huge nerf to Dark Prince, and Dark Prince is still pretty prevalent. So,
I mean, Dark Prince has only been
right now.
Dark Prince has only really been good with bridge spam. It may be graveyard.
BDMs can certainly have its place. Then
I was gonna say
occasionally.
I've seen it in BDM. I've seen it in 3M. I've seen it in Giant.
Yeah,
I've seen it in pretty much every archetype Black Spell.
Hey, now just because
I've seen it.
Let's call it. This man will make it work.
I've seen it in I've seen it in like every.
Sure.
I don't think it's way too strong.
I gotcha.
What would you do to it to balance it?
I don't want to nerf into Oblivion because I like the card itself, but I think it is strong. So maybe like a small health nerf, like on the shield.
Yeah. For 4 elixir, I can see that. I can see that.
Well, not the shield. Shield, I feel that is way too quick. Maybe like the general health, not the shield.
Okay, yeah. Sure. So back to buffs. One card that I would love to see a buff is the Goblin Cage. I think that a 5-second increase in lifetime would really increase its usage rates. And I just personally love to use the card. I think it's fun. And I would like to see that card get a little bit of love.
Okay. I gotta some play.
I was gonna say, I gotta be honest, I did completely kind of disagree with that. I think Goblin Cage is already being used very prevalently.
Really? Are you seeing it on ladder or in challenges? Because I haven't seen it at
a lot of challenges.
Oh, really?
It's being used in Lava Loon.
I've seen it in Golem and Loon. I'm seeing it used in a lot of decks. I don't think
used in the.
It's being
have
used
to find those decks
in most decks.
Okay, then.
Like it's used in the beatdown decks to provide an extra mini tank, like to stop their push. It feels like the niche role of Tombstone does, but it also provides a bit of a counter push if it survives.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Brawler does so much.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little Lumberjack without the rage.
Knight plus Lumberjack combo.
Mm-hmm.
I think a buff, like in real, I buff everyone could across like the Fisherman.
Yes.
The Fisherman is
He's saying he's a buff. But dude, whenever I play with it, this gets so much value pulling every win condition straight away from the tower. Giant tower, RG right in the middle, and both towers. I think that when used effectively, or when used correctly, it can be quite effective.
You think it's a high skill?
High skill, maybe. I think if you just get replacements right, then be effective.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Well, down there, 7K player.
You got 7K.
No, yeah, no. All my old records. If I push today, I'll really pass my old record of 6 laps. Good.
This video, I like completely just crap on him in the comments. He has not played in so long.
Yeah, but it's
he played before the
GHGPULU. Yeah.
So what you're saying is we gotta add this, man.
Yeah, add me. Watch me, son.
Anyways.
What do you guys think about Lawbreakers?
Ooh.
That's a good thing to get into. I like it as it's an extra little bit of bridge Sam, but it can also act like a nice golem and drag stuff wherever.
Yeah.
See, here's my problem. I'll go ahead.
I think if you maybe add like a little bit of just like if it doesn't reach the tower death damage, like I don't know, a zap maybe. Or
well, there is
zap, just like
a little bit of splash when it doesn't reach the tower, kills surrounding swarm units.
Yeah, I thought it was only when it reached the tower and the damage.
Okay, so here's my problem with the Lawbreakers. I love the card. Something I think that is a huge problem with the card in general is how strong it is when it reaches the tower. And I feel like it
That's
might
the
just
trick,
be,
isn't it?
It might just
reach
be
the tower.
It might just be because like it's still kind of new, so not everyone completely understands the card. But I feel like if you buff it, like I just don't want to play with fire and make it too strong. Is basically what I'm trying to say. I think it might need a buff, but I don't want to make it like way too meta that it completely just destroys the game. So that's my real opinion on that. I don't want to play too much.
You're scared. You're scared.
Makes it meta. Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
You know what it could
Counter argument to that would be just you can't do these little balance changes until it's just right. But I'd like to see
that's what they did with
Bard
Barrel and like Goblin Cage and stuff, and now they're super strong. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that becoming like another Bard Barrel.
Do you really want to wait like 4 months to see a card being good? Or do you want to say, hey, maybe this month it's okay if it's broken and then we can fix it next month?
So
I personally wouldn't mind rapidly changing the meta because we've seen the exact same mortar decks, the exact same giant triple spell decks.
Where we go crazy and just buff everything a ton and it changes.
I wouldn't just buff everything a ton.
It's too strong.
Completely everything. No. I wouldn't go that far.
Everything at once.
But I would say frequently. Frequent balance changes.
Yes, like make these challenges or make these changes and make them in somewhat drastic events. So that if they are too broken, you know they are.
Something really cool that I think would really help change the meta in general is weekly balance changes. Just
okay. I think that's a little too frequent for me.
That seems like a bit too much.
Take that in for a second, or maybe like once every 2 weeks to really change.
Well, I was thinking is keep with the monthly balance changes, but instead of having 8 or so cards that they buff and nerf, look at everything. Get like 10 or 20 cards.
Oh my god, I wish.
Touch them. Just touch them. Maybe you don't do it a 6% health increase, but just touch it. Yeah.
Just look at it.
I like to see the changes in the meta.
So like what every other month did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Something that I think is important in general is when you buff a card, you really have to take into account like the free-to-play players.
Of course.
And I know this might be a little controversial, but I think because like you got to think about ladder when you're buffing and nerfing these cards, not just challenges. Yeah. And people might have cards like completely maxed, and if you completely, it could just affect people pushing in general.
So are you a supporter of the one maxed deck thing?
No, I am not. I really dislike that. I don't like how that's a thing. I have pretty much a fully maxed bait deck, and I don't really like bait anymore. And I don't really have a choice. I have to use it, and it's really frustrating because now I like P.E.K.K.A bridge spam kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's or Golem, like I like those types of decks now. So it's just really frustrating that I can't use that on ladder now, and now I have to try to level up a whole new deck. I don't like the one max deck thing. I wish there was more versatility and more ways to like level up cards in general. And I know there is a lot already.
Yeah, they were. I think that we can all agree that they've added many ways for free-to-play players to advance a lot faster in the game.
Yeah, I feel like it's still
much improved.
It still takes a while though.
I think it should, personally. I don't think you should be able to get on and play a month and have all max cards.
I'm not saying a month. Well, I'm not saying like every card max. I'm saying like
you should be able to transition decks.
I have like 10, 11 cards max.
I think that they could use. I think that they should change their quest to be able to request 6 rares. Personally, because 4 to get to 1,000, it just takes so long, and that's just for
talk about speeding up a percentage.
12 to just increasing the request amount.
I think
increasing like 50%. Commons pretty easy to max. You can do it in 2 weeks if you really focused on it.
I mean, depends on where you're at, but like a month.
Yeah,
depends on where you're at. So
yeah.
For my experience, I'm just working on epics, and it takes forever. However, I'm fine with it taking forever as they're a higher. They're an epic, like that's the way they're supposed to be.
It's still faster than it used to be with trades.
Yeah, like you have tokens, which greatly improves it.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
I think something to help with like increasing card inflation is like, and this might seem a little controversial, but I think doubling like pretty much every single trade except legendary. So instead of doing,
I would say just increase the frequency of tokens.
That would be
well,
good.
yeah, I guess, yeah, that'd be better.
It's a safe bet.
I think it's hard for me as a pay-to-win player, as a pay-to-compete, whatever you want to call it.
Negative Jimmer.
Yeah. Because I paid so much in this game, but I still care more about the quality of life of the game and would like to see everybody rise up as well, without having to do what I did. And even if it is completely negating my investment, I think that it would be just much better to have it possible to level up all your cards. Yeah. Just the possibility. Because before, somebody did the math like last year, and it would take like 20 years of playing nonstop to level up all the cards. Yeah.
I have a question, and please give your honest opinion about this. I've heard from multiple YouTubers about an idea with levels in general, comparing levels to cards with like King Towers. How do we feel about that?
I definitely agree with that. It would stop the one single max deck.
I agree with that as well.
And it really would save the people with the max decks. That it creates more problems than just being really obnoxious on ladder. Because if meta changes, if the balance changes their deck, they're screwed.
They should.
They need to be more well-rounded, so it provides more fun, more skill, more getting into the game to really understand more cards and their interactions.
Here's the thing: I think there's a lot of level 13s, and this is my opinion on decent amount of level 13s. So I think Supercell might be worried about that. So I think something that they can do to make it harder to reach level 13 if they want to do all level 13 cards is just double the experience.
That's not something I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
I think double the experience.
I like how long it takes to reach level 13. Personally,
I'm saying it would be even longer.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my.
It would be double the amount to level.
Oh, my.
Right now, I would have.
You don't like these people. You don't like level 12.
No, I don't. I do.
It's over hating on people. In my opinion, I think that level caps could be okay. However, I don't think it should be based on level.
What would you base it on?
Yeah.
But like, maybe you have a total level.
Can't time in game.
Say, yeah, just have people locked on, but you just
like another half time in game. Can I have all cards? I love that.
Yeah. So something I was thinking about is you assign each card in a number, and then you have 10, 20, whatever number. That's your max.
Yeah.
So you can also make it as some way to buffer nerf cards to see which ones are played, because you can't take like all the best cards and stick on a deck anymore. Like that's kind of what pack coverage spam is.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but it'd be its own unique thing. Another idea I've had is for, like you were talking about the leveling up earlier, correct? Or the maxing card.
Yes, mentioned.
Okay. What if you could pay gems to rent a specific deck for a week or a few days or whatever, and then however many gems you paid would decide the level of the cards?
I don't know if I would say. It depends how many gems it costed, because don't really make a pay to win thing, of course.
Sure.
Everyday players. But I could definitely see that. That would be awesome. Just rent it.
Switch if you want. Like
or
deck access.
Or how, like once a week you can try out a new deck. You get one free attempt per week at just a new deck for 3 hours, and you can try that. Yeah,
that sounds cool. But I was thinking like, I don't know, like 10 gems for level 9. Like that's kind of whatever. You play CCs or whatever. And then at level 10, probably like 50. These are totally changeable, and then upgradable by 50 every time. So level 13 would be 250 gems. That's 250 GCs, but that is also like some amount of playing a ladder with a max deck of your choosing.
Making stuff easier to buy in game doesn't necessarily. While yes, it is cheaper for the pay to plays, it also creates a massive difference between free to plays and pay to plays. If it just becomes if you can spend $10 and max out 4 cards or whatever.
Well, not maxing, but waiting out for however many days.
Yeah.
Like you don't get the cards, you just get to use them. As if they were level 13, and then at the end of the trial or whatever, they go back to whatever level they are.
I guess I missed that. You were breaking up a little bit for me.
Yeah, just you rent the cards for a certain amount of time. Then it's like a lease. So
that'd be cool. Yeah.
What do you?
Okay. I think that the cost would definitely need to be dependent on the rarity, because they're always the what are they?
You can rent per card.
The Penta legendary decks that just bridge spam seems to have so many legendaries.
Yeah.
And then others, 3 musky deck, pay 200 gems, be able to use it for a full day because it's all rares and common.
Sure. So like these amounts can change.
Yeah.
Sure. So with our remaining time, I'd like to talk about the battle pass.
The battle pass. The battle pass. They hopped on board the bandwagon. I like it because it gives, again, as a pay-to-play player, $5 value, which is just so much more value in that $5 than like any other thing in the game. Challenges, even if you get 12 wins in grand challenges, 5 times, because that costs $5, you're still going to be getting way more value out of this battle pass than out of that. And it encourages players to play, okay? Which is super necessary for, trophies to move properly and get people online for just more than 2v2s. I mean, you can't do 2v2s, but you definitely I have at least seen a lot more people on ladder, where it used to be pretty stagnant below 5,200.
Sure. Was it pre or after inflation?
I guess right now it would be post-inflation. Post-inflation would be about 6,200 trophies. Where I would compare it to, but again, right now I'm just a little bit above that, and I can see way more life in the game. Now the decks I'm seeing are a lot of RG giant skeletons, but I digress.
Yeah, just a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
All, in my opinion, last Actness. How do you feel about it?
I think the battle pass is again, it's a good way to just get value in general. If you're not exactly high skilled at the game. So like Trevor was talking before about the GCs thing, how you get 5 GCs and probably get a lot more value out of it. And not everyone can get a 12 in GC. So I think spending the $5 on the battle pass and getting a lot of value on it.
Well, no, I would say battle pass gives you more value than the GCs, even with as much value as the GCs do give.
I mean, if you get 5 12 in GCs, I think that's better than the battle pass. That's just me, though.
But you have to.
Let's see the math.
You have to think of the strikes. You have to think of the strikes and the epic chest.
Well, yeah, I've got enough cards to max everything, but Ram Rider, this Lawbreaker guys, and the Goblin, whatever. So the strikes are super helpful to me personally, rather than having to rely on just the luck of the one draw. And also, so I'm looking at this now, and just for the free-to-play side, it's 75 cards times 35. So that's like 2,500 cards. So, yeah, I suppose that you're right. It is going to be more.
At the end.
Plus legendary at the end.
The only
factor in the last chest.
I would see that would make the battle pass better is the strikes.
Yeah, I was saying just the free-to-play side is 2,500. So the other side obviously is going to be more. So it would probably be equal in value, but yeah, guaranteed rather than relying on skill and meta, which goes up and down as we all know.
Yeah, and it also just encourages people to push.
Yeah, which I just absolutely love about it. Plus, new tower skins, gotta love them.
Oh yeah, that and the new emote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can't wait to see the new season. What's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna rehash what all you guys said, but I like it from a point where you get free stuff as a free-to-play, free-to-play player.
Yeah, they're protecting free-to-plays and pay-to-plays. It's awesome.
It's a safe play. Also, it gives you guaranteed value, but it also is another way for them to make money.
Yeah.
Now, Supercell is a corporation, and they need to make money to keep themselves going. No problems.
Yeah.
It is.
I see people complain sometimes that, they're requiring you to play, blah, 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 blah. Yes. This is a company that wants to make money. People need to remember that sometimes. I just feel like sometimes they don't. Even though I do like to protect the free-to-play, but
I want to say I think the free-to-play. I've heard people complain about the battle pass for free-to-play players in general. But
really?
It's literally nothing but upside.
That's what I've heard. But
you get value.
You're getting a legendary chest, so I don't get it.
Like, it's fun either way.
I think if you hear that, that's just people are going to complain no matter what. You know?
You're right.
Yeah. But anyways, as I was saying, it is great for several reasons. It also allows them to take more opportunities for like these random challenges that have been going on almost constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't have to think of like, well, we have to appeal to the whales to make more money. We can just do these random challenges. That'll catch people's eyes. And if you keep playing, then they'll say, hey, so I'm playing so much, I might as well just buy this $5 option.
Yeah.
Like, not bad.
Plus, I mean, it used to be there was like no options for value. It was just, if you wanted, you could pay, $20 for was it $20 for a super magical chest? For a super magical chest?
25.
Yeah, so $20 for really not that much value, nor guaranteed anything. And now you can pay $5, get probably 3 or 4 super magical chests. I don't know the numbers. But it's definitely a lot more. And plus the free global tournaments and challenges. Just loving it.
They've definitely made the game a lot better. My only complaint is that they've added new cards, kind of. I'd rather see them change cards, not just add another legendary, for example, or another epic. It just seems kind of a waste.
I think that the rate at which they're introducing new content is sustainable. They're doing it, it's not too fast. They're going to be able to keep going with it. But also necessary, that you do need that new content, especially for meta shifts. But I do agree that they should be changing the decks because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have seen the same exact. I'm just going through my activity log right now.
Metas.
The exact same mortar miner bait, the exact same golem, the exact same. Actually, one new one that I have seen around is goblin giant sparky bait decks, which are annoying, but they're new, so it's good.
So it's fine.
Yeah. So long as they're new, okay? I just like to see the new stuff. We've seen the exact same Expo. We've seen the exact same giant triple spell. I like to see new stuff. I like to see, switching up. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of Expo, I've gotten some new cards next.
No.
Expo pump.
Oh no!
Expo
You're gonna
pump.
beat me on ladder. I choke so hard
Carry
against
me.
Expo, man. I do. I'm just horrible.
Well, it's because you play like 2.9 baits and you don't have rocket, so you don't even have a chance there.
You're right.
You can keep cycle, but it doesn't.
Yeah, you can't.
Rocket is the only way it maintains parity.
All right, you make me feel a little bit better because I do play all the decks that just get hard countered by Expo because I'm just.
Yeah, you play all the sweet decks.
Yeah. I have been playing this Goblin Giant Double Prince deck, and I beat Expo today, and it made my day. It made me feel so happy.
Man, at least you're not some other people I know playing RG Rocket.
Oh come on! I need RG Rocket and Golem because just gotta piss on.
Because ladder players.
Yeah, because that's the way it is.
Okay, I have one final question that I really. What do we think the new season's gonna be? Just completely random guesses.
Random guesses. Come on, they have to have hidden something in here, just Easter eggs or something. Right?
Let's check Twitter. I don't think they have. Yeah.
If anything, I think it's also going to have something to do with a new card or a new rework, or maybe a challenge.
Have they made mention of any new card? I haven't seen.
No, they have not.
Not that I've heard.
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, it's still pre-Fisherman, so I mean.
Sure.
Let me check Twitter just to make sure, but I don't think they have.
These battle passes may just be a thing that involve a new card that creates some hype.
Yeah.
No,
they could just be. I don't know.
They haven't mentioned anything actually at all about.
How much are we betting it has something to do involving Halloween?
Oh, I would hope so.
Spooky.
It's too early.
Only 2 months away.
It's too early, but
I think that is too early.
Only 2 months away.
Spooktober event.
Maybe they'll do something about summer.
I can't handle when people start playing Christmas music, before Thanksgiving.
Oh my god!
But Spooktober, I'll take all year round if I can get it.
Christmas in July.
Nice.
Christmas in July.
That would be quite bad.
No.
Anyways, I think it's about time.
Go ahead.
I think it's about time we finish up.
All right.